Well, it's Sunday, so that means it's time for another installment of the Triple Threat series. 3 topics, hopefully 3 minutes or less, about anything and everything pertaining to professional wrestling. I've got some WWE topics and a TNA topic as well this week, so let's dive right in. And I'll start off with a rumor that is making its rounds on the wrestling interwebs over the past couple of days, and that is that the WWE is planning on dropping the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view and replacing it with a show that's either called WWE Fastlane or perhaps WWE Fast Track. Now, I sit there and say, just because it's on the internet, it doesn't instantly make it true, does it? Does it? But when I see a name like WWE Fastlane or WWE Fast Track, even though this came from the Dolphin guy on Reddit who's accurately predicted a lot of stuff in the past when it comes to WWE, except maybe WrestleMania 30, when I saw names like that, I'm like, that's not fan-made bullshit. I actually tend to believe this now. So I'm going to operate really quickly on the assumption that this is true and that the WWE is indeed getting ready to drop the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I'm glad they are. I don't like the fact that the Elimination Chamber match has its own pay-per-view gimmick. I don't like the fact that you have an entire pay-per-view built around one or perhaps two matches on the freaking show. I don't like that. I don't like these stupid gimmick pay-per-views of the WWE. And I understand the importance of that February pay-per-view over the years. It's been the way to bridge the gap from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. But I think at a point in time where you're now focused on the WWE network and you don't quite have the pressure of doing the monthly pay-per-views quite as much at the $50+ price point, I think it's maybe time to explore getting rid of that filler pay-per-view between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Because to me, especially now with only one world champion, if you have that pay-per-view in between, it kind of leaves that Rumble champion kind of blowing in the breeze, and you reduce the amount of time that you have to build up that big championship feud between the Royal Rumble winner and the champion. That's kind of the way I look at it. I would rather they sit there maybe and move the Royal Rumble to the early portion, the first or second weekend of February, and maybe made sure that they got WrestleMania out of the early portion of April and kept it in the middle or end portion of March, and maybe did something like the old Saturday night main event, 3 weeks in between on each side, so that way right in the middle, you've still got some type of big show, something that can help set the table. But again, I'm not that heartbroken if they get rid of the Elimination Chamber, because frankly, in a PG company, matches like Hell in a Cell and Elimination Chamber, these are the type of matches where you're supposed to put people through such great hell that at some point in time it would only be natural to expect there to be blood. And to have these matches without blood is stupid, in my opinion, because it's not believable and therefore undermines whatever remaining credibility there is in professional wrestling. As far as I'm concerned, I'm glad they're getting rid of the stipulation or pay-per-view. I wish they would take the Elimination Chamber match and put it back on Survivor Series every damn year, where the fuck it belongs, in my opinion. Same thing with the Money in the Bank ladder match. Instead of that being its own freaking pay-per-view, which again I think is stupid too, even though a lot of you fans might like it, that needs to go at WrestleMania every year. That's where the fuck it belongs. To me, the WWE needs to transition away from these gimmick pay-per-views. Frankly, like I said, in general, with the Elimination Chamber, I don't even think the match serves a whole lot of purpose. It doesn't match the company and the creative direction of the time. So this isn't sad news to me. In fact, it's good news, even though they're going to, of course, replace it with something lame instead of doing what they really need to do, which is getting rid of that February pay-per-view entirely. So on Friday, I went to Yahoo, as I do every day, in large part to check my fantasy football lineups for the upcoming weekend slate of games, and I saw this featured article right on the front about Bobby Lashley, and a little teaser headline said, that he's a different type of guy, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to click and read this because I want to see what they say. It was a really good article. I recommend you read it and check it out. It was about him being a wrestler and an MMA fighter and a single dad. Like I said, a really good article, and it was promoting his upcoming fight that night on Bellator against some undefeated guy who he ended up going on to dismantle in like a minute and a half. Before I got ready to click on the article, though, I'm like, I wonder how this is going to go. I wonder what direction this article is going to go, and I wonder how much TNA is going to be mentioned. And see, TNA, this is why you're fucking stupid. This is why it's hard to take you seriously. This is why you're in the damn shape you're in. Here is your world champion, not some ham and egger, not some jabroni, not some run-of-the-mill mid-card guy. Your fucking company's world champion. In a way, the face of your company right now. You know, the guy that you didn't bother to book on what was supposed to be your biggest pay-per-view of the year, Bound for Glory in Tokyo, Japan, because you're idiots. So here's your world champion, who you've been pushing for months. And in large part, you've been doing it because you wanted to kiss Spike's ass, because you wanted to get a new television deal. You've always bent over and taken it up the rear from them when it comes to the cross-promotion of their stupid-ass Bellator product that they're invested in, while at the same time, of course, never getting equal treatment in return from the Bellator side towards TNA, a very one-sided relationship. And how did that work out for you, TNA? Oh, that's right, you still don't have a fucking television deal, and you're probably not even close to one. But it's here. Bobby Lashley, featured article on Yahoo, and WWE was mentioned more once than TNA was in the entire fucking article. Your world champion is being featured in a Yahoo article, a featured Yahoo article at that, on the front page of the damn website that millions of people visit every day, and there's not one fucking reference to him being involved with TNA, currently wrestling for TNA, being that company's fucking world champion. The way it was put was that he was a former WWE wrestler. It was almost like he's no longer fucking wrestling. And see, this is always the fucking problem, TNA. You do all of this stupid shit to either kiss people's ass, kiss certain entities' ass like a television network, or you do it because you think people give a shit. Well, if you're not going to get the word out about it, if you're not going to be able to effectively market, promote, and advertise your fucking product, then why the hell are you fucking doing it? This has always been the problem with TNA. They bring in all these guys from WWE and WCW lineage, and they come to the company. These people go out in the public, and people ask, hey, I remember when you used to wrestle. What are you doing now? Oh, I'm down in TNA. What's TNA? Nobody knows about your fucking company. And here's your world champion, and there's not one single fucking mention of TNA or Impact Wrestling or him even really frankly being a current world champion for any damn federation. This is why your company looks stupid. This is why you have failed to grow your product. This is why your company has failed to get the foothold that the business desperately needed to. It's because of dumb shit like this. You feature the wrong people in the wrong way for the wrong freaking reasons, and even when you got something staring you in the fucking face saying, hey, here's a legit MMA badass who also happens to be our badass world champion. Oh, by the way, unlike the WWE, he also happens to be black. We're not afraid to make a black guy the top guy in the fucking company. When it comes to interviews like this, and there's not a single fucking mention of your fucking company. If and when TNA dies, they deserve to die because of dumb shit like this. Why are you putting the title on Lashley if you're not going to pump his name all over the damn place? Why are you putting a title on Lashley when it's bringing you zero exposure from a new audience? None. Bupkiss. How in the fuck are people going to know if they don't mention your fucking company's name, you idiots? And the last thing I want to talk about is the news this week that the WWE has signed 5 new talents to developmental deals down at the Performance Center. I saw the article about this. I saw the picture of these 5 and the description of these 5 and their backgrounds, and it just made me laugh hysterically. These 5 new talents, if you will, include a model with neck tattoos, a ditzy blonde Hooters model who apparently loves Twitter drama, a amateur wrestler who was once training for the 2016 Olympics in Brazil that looks like a pretty much clone knockoff of a Samoa Joe, a bodybuilder who doesn't look all that much like a bodybuilder, and then some other dopey looking dude that has some wrestling and MMA background. Whoopity-doo! Now I understand with the WWE that sometimes you got to go through a lot of quantity to get some quality. And I also understand and appreciate that it doesn't cost that much to bring these individuals in on developmental deals, and that you're looking for maybe one diamond in the rough out of these 5. If you get one legitimate talent out of these 5, then you feel it's like mission accomplished. But I mean, for Christ's sakes. What I don't understand is that the WWE is supposed to be the be all end all. And the way they should be looking at NXT is that is one step below. What the WWE is doing here, in my opinion, is kind of like with the Major League Baseball system of how they get amateur talent to come to the pros. You have high schoolers that could be drafted, college juniors and seniors that could be drafted, and then you have the international marketplace where you can sign players as free agents. This to me is like drafting prospects out of high school and bringing them straight to your minor league system, and they never played a single game of baseball in their entire fucking lives. This is so stupid and so ridiculous. Why waste all this time on these people that you know more likely than not, or if they ever even make it onto the NXT show, are just going to end up being stupid jobbers, and in 6 months you're going to end up dropping them like a bad habit anyways. Why bother? A model, another model, a lame-ass bodybuilder, some dopey-looking guy with an amateur wrestling and MMA background, and then, like I said, a guy with an amateur wrestling background that looks like Samoa Joe. And yet so many people talk about NXT like it's this great and wonderful thing, and it really isn't. I'm sorry, it really, really isn't. If this is going to be the formula of talent evaluation and talent acquisition in the future, fans should be very concerned about the future of WWE, because frankly, that NXT developmental system is supposed to be where the future of WWE begins, if you will. And this is the future. 2 models, a bodybuilder, which Vince should freaking love, and then a couple of guys with amateur wrestling backgrounds. Notice one common theme in all of that? No professional wrestling experience. How stupid is that? I don't even need to say anymore. Not a single one of those 5 have any wrestling experience at all. From a pure wrestling standpoint, I am as qualified as any of the 5 individuals, to the best of my knowledge, from a professional wrestling standpoint, as they are. So let me know what you think about the rumor of WWE dropping the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Let me know what you think about Bobby Lashley having this big featured article on Yahoo, and there's not a single mention of him being involved with TNA or being their world freaking champion. Let me know what you think about this trend, this pattern of the WWE of trying to find these diamonds in the rough and basically signing a bunch of people that have as much business being in professional wrestling as you or me, and have as much experience and qualifications as you or me. Let me know down below.